All right, guys. So this is being recorded for training purposes. I hope you guys don't mind. Anyone object to that?
Nope.
All right. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for attending this presentation. Basically, what I'm going to be going over is a lot of our tools, resources, and let me just share my slides with you, my presentation that I put together. Give me 1 second here so that we can use that as a guide as I present everything to you, because I want to make sure I don't skip anything. Are you guys both loan officers or licensed NML? Okay. And Shane, how long have you been in the industry?
2 years.
2 years. How about you, Joseph?
7.
7 years?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. And I asked just so that I know what things I want to cover based on your experience. So I'll mix it up a little here. All right, I have another person joining us. All right, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Yes.
And you guys can hear me loud and clear. Perfect. And if you guys don't mind just muting so that we don't get any interruptions. And then what I'm going to do is at the end, I'm going to open it up for any questions. So just jot down any questions that you may have about anything that I talk about today. I'll be going through a lot of stuff, and I know you may have a lot of questions. And if you don't at the moment, once we finish the presentation, I will reach out to you one-on-one just to go over also what commissions would look like and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into specifics about commission. I'm going to talk about everything but that, and we'll do that on our one-on-one call. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the name of the company is Equity Smart Home Loans. Thank you guys for joining. I appreciate taking time from your busy schedules to learn more about what we're doing here. And when I get started with these presentations, I like to talk about what are the five most important things to loan officers. You know, I've been a loan officer for over 20 years, and these are the things that I would consider important when I'm trying to decide where I'm going to work. Number one, who's the broker? Who is he, and what does he bring to the table? Also, leadership and culture. Number three, tools and technology. And this is a cool part because I actually will dive into some of the tools and actually demonstrate them so you can get a view of how you can use them and what we provide. Also, pricing and resources is important. And then finally, reputation. So these are the 5 things that I'm going to be covering in this presentation. And again, we're not here to hire you, but to give you an opportunity to hire us and show you what we can do to help you grow your business. So let's talk about the broker, which is me. So I've been in the business now for over 20 years. I graduated from UC Santa Barbara in 1997, got a bachelor's degree in sociology, wanted to be a social worker, wanted to make social changes, wanted to just have an impact in society, right? So what ended up happening was when I graduated, I realized I needed to work. I needed to pay rent, bills, and stuff like that. So one of my buddies got me a job at Wells Fargo at the time. And my first interaction with customers, sitting down with them and you know, taking the application, explaining their needs to me, and being able to go back to my underwriters and kind of bridge that gap between the borrower and the bank and just, you know, fill that role made me feel really great. I felt like, wow, I can actually do this. I feel great talking to these customers. I feel like I matter. I'm important. I'm actually helping them, you know, make one of their biggest purchases. So I enjoyed that. And the more I did it, the more I realized that this is what I wanted to do for a living. I wanted to help people with their applications and help them understand the complexities of the banking system and the underwriting and all that stuff, and just simplify it and help them get their loans. So I did retail for all the way till about 2001. I was at Countrywide Home Loans for a few years, and then I was at GMAC Mortgage. And then in 2001, I decided to become a broker. Why? Because what started happening was that as I started developing a lot of realtor networks and partnerships, I actually was turning away some bars that I couldn't qualify. And a few months later, I would follow up with the bars and say, hey, just checking in on you, see if you know what's going on. And then through these follow-ups, and also through the realtors getting back to me and letting me know that, hey, that these actually, I got them approved somewhere else and we were able to close a loan. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I didn't like that, right? I'm like thinking, well, you know, I got the bar first, I turned them away, and someone else was able to close the loan. So I learned about the broker channel, the wholesale channel. And at that point, I already had made the decision I was going to do loans for the rest of my life. So I said, you know what, if this is going to be my career, I'm in the wrong place. I need to be in a place where I can provide all the tools and resources to my borrowers so that I don't lose anybody. And so that's what I did. I decided to quit my job that had had a great salary. I had great commissions. I had 401k. I was top ranked. I was viewed by my peers as a top producer. So I had I was walking away from, at the time, what I felt like was a lot. And what made the decision easy at the time was, well, number one, I really have nothing holding me back. I didn't have a family or anything like that. So that kind of made it easy. And at the same time, I said, you know what, if I don't try this, I might not do it later on. And even if I don't succeed and I don't do well in it, then I could just always go back and one of these banks are going to take me because I was generating a lot of loans for them, making them a lot of money. So I took the dive. 6 months later, we started doing really well. It was like a 3-man shop. And then from there, we grew all the way to 2007 to about 150 loan officers, even opened up an escrow company. And a real estate company. And then in 2007, we all know what happened, right? The market crashes, we get decimated, we get dwindled down to about 5 loan officers. And then all these changes start to happen around 2000, 2008, 2009. And it was a struggle. I mean, it was even hard to do a loan at the time. I remember it was almost to the point where I was going to walk away. It was just that bad. But I just decided to hang in there because at that point, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't really develop skills for anything else but doing loans. So luckily I stuck around. The NMLS came about, the whole system with the NMLS came about. I embraced it. I thought, well, we're going to have regulation. We're going to have order. We're going to have structure. I loved it. I embraced it. I got my NMLS. And then at the same time, we had the advent of being able to e-docs documents and also scan in documents. And what I quickly realized at the time is that was going to, as loan officers, that was going to free us up. We didn't really need to report to an office no more because prior to 2007, you had to come in, you had to make copies, you had to get wet signatures, and you had to submit the loans in a way that the underwriters were going to accept it, and that's what was required at the time. But now with e-signatures and the ability for the bar to scan in documents, it changed the landscape, it changed the game. And what we decided to do at Equity Smart around 2011 is to create a virtual platform where we can provide all the tools and resources to our loan officers remotely so that they can pretty much work from anywhere. Because we realize you don't really need to come into the office. You should actually be out there getting business. The way I look at it is 80% of your day should be spent on loan originating activities. And if you're in an office, you're most likely not going to be doing that. You should be working out of a real estate office. You should be visiting offices. Because the other 20% is just kind of following up on your pipeline, working on the loans that you have in place. And so that's what we decided to do. And it also gave us a wider reach. We're able to do loans, in San Diego, San Jose, and then eventually out of state because we weren't tied geographically anymore. They always said I remember being a kid, they would say, hey, technology is going to change everything. It's going to free us up. And I think we're very fortunate because in our industry, it actually has done that. It has freed us up because we can, as long as you have a phone, you can pretty much work from anywhere. You can work from remotely from anywhere. You could, as long as you have Wi-Fi. And I'm going to show you all the apps and the technology we have that you could take advantage. But I started using the phrase, your business is work out of your pocket. Work out of your pocket. What does that mean? Just bring out your cell phone and you're in business. And we're to that point where that's actually true now. You're working out of your pocket. So then that aside, that's my history. That's my background. I think I'm a great fit to be running this organization just because of the longevity, the experience, and then just my accomplishments. In last year in 2021, I was ranked top 20th or 21st loan officer in the whole country. And that's not the company. That's me, my personal production. You could look me up on the Scotsman's Guide and you could find my name on there, and I'm ranked top 20. Why? Because I've always been a top producer. I know how to generate a lot of loans, a lot of business. So the way I like to look at Equity Smart Home Loans, it's a company built by loan officers for loan officers. So what we did is we got rid of all the things that we don't like, and we embraced and built upon all the things we enjoy as loan officers. And who better than someone like me that has a bird's eye view and has the experience, the longevity in the business. Aside from my history and my past, what you get with me is you get access to me. I can structure loans. I've been almost in every type of scenario. So you call me, it's really, really difficult to stump me just because I've done so many loans. So I can really be a good support. I can give you ideas on how to market yourself. I can give you, so it's more like a partnership. It's more like a coach. So you're not just getting a broker that you're just hanging your license. You're never going to hear from him. He doesn't know the loan game. And then he just disappears on you. I'm always working. I enjoy what I do, and I'll continue doing what I do. And I'm going to provide all the support. And I build a team around myself that's also going to provide that support. And I'll jump into that slide next. So we are based out of the city of South Pasadena, so in California, Southern California, in case some of you guys are from out of state. And the corporate office is here. We're on the 5th floor and the 4th floor now as well. And everyone that works here, they're W-2 wage earners. And basically what that means for us as loan officers is they're here to work for us, not me, Pablo. They're here to work for all the loan officers here. So when you call in, when you reach out, when you need support, they're going to be there for you. That's how I've trained them, and that's what I've taught them to do. And we have everything from social media, IT, marketing, and I'm going to go through a lot of that stuff in a minute. But and we even have a person that her only job is to train you guys. Like if you want training on our LOS system, if you want training on how to run DU, you could block an hour with her and she'll go through everything with you until you learn it as many times as you need. So our goal is to provide the best support, the best experience, because we want you guys working out there. We want you guys to be, we want to be available to you when you need us and when you need to call in, and not just sporadically. We want it to be consistent and all the time. That's our goal. That's our vision. And at the same time, give you all the best tools, the best pricing, and the best of everything. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Let me see what slide I'm on. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about, I'm going to jump into our portal. So what we spent the last 5 years doing is we built our own proprietary portal where we provide all the tools and resources that you need, and you could access them at any time. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here so you can check it out. And again, this is something that we redirected a lot of our earnings back into this so that we can have a central place where we can have access to some of the tools and resources we need when we're working out there. So right when you log in, you're going to see your name right here on the left with your license and everything. Eventually, we're going to have your volume, your ranking in the company and all that, so you could kind of see where you stand amongst other loan officers within Equity Smart. Right here on the right, we have a training calendar, and we're constantly trying to just fill it with all kinds of webinars and Zooms. And all you gotta just click on one of these and read about it, see if you like it, see if it's a good fit for you. For me, being a loan officer is not one of those things that you've learned overnight. It's one of those things that you just continuously learn and as you go, right? And sometimes things stick and sometimes they don't. So you got to kind of see them a few times before they stick. The way I like to explain it, it's like kind of tunnel vision, right? When you have tunnel vision, and the more you learn, the more you train yourself, that tunnel vision becomes wider until it goes away, and you basically know how to put loans together. And we're going to continue to provide all kinds of training. We do live events. Also, we have a great partnership with United Wholesale Mortgage. And any of our loan officers that want to fly out to Detroit, Michigan, will cover your flight and your hotel. And that's right, I didn't misspeak. We will cover your flight and hotel. We'll pay for that. You can do a week training out there. You can do a few days. You can even bring some of your realtor partners and all that. We got you covered, so you don't have to worry about that. So I'm not going to go through everything, but I'm just going to give you a taste of what's in here. And one of the things that I like to show on the quick links is the tax impound schedule. I've been doing this for a long time. I always forget, and what month we're in, what do we need to collect for taxes and insurance. So I quickly pop in here so I can help complete my loan estimate when I'm including impounds in my loan estimate. And you're going to have a lot of cool little quick links like the HOA stuff or FHA. There's all kinds of cool things that we put in here. Here on the left, we do have a continuing education, and we are in partnership with Learn Mortgage, which is a school. And a lot of these partnerships are designed to save us money. So we give them volume and they give us mega discounts so that we're not spending a lot of money on these tools. But one of the things you're going to hear me say later on is that it's important now for loan officers to get licensed out of state. And I'll talk more about that later. But this is where you can do it. You can get your license in Arizona, Florida, whatever. And you can also do your renewing. If you're in California, you can also get your real estate license. So that's for the education portion. The lender list. This is probably where you're going to spend some time on here. The lender list is where you have access to all your lenders that we're approved with. I think currently we're approved with over 150 lenders. On the broker side, we are a hybrid model. We are a hybrid model, which means that you're going to have the best of both worlds. You're going to be a direct lender. We have our own warehouse line. We fund our own loans under our name. We're closing those loans anywhere from 10 to 15 days. And the great part about our direct lending is you're not going to have artificially inflated interest rates. There's still going to be some of the best interest rates. And every time I price out our direct lender interest rates, they're always about 0.5 point to 3/4 better than any of the lenders that are out there. And I know this because when I start having my one-on-ones with loan officers, we do price comparisons, and I see that. So that's important. You're going to have access to some of the best rates. Now, on the broker side, we do have over, I think, I don't even know, I lost count, but I think we have over 150 lenders that we work with. So we put the list together here, and all you simply have to do is click on the lender that you want to work with. And when you click on them, you're going to have the compensation plan. You're going to have all the products. You're going to have the account executive information. And then also what we did recently is we created a review system where you can actually leave reviews. These reviews are important because it's a way that we communicate with each other as loan officers. We let each other know which lender is doing a good job and which lenders are doing a bad job so that we can avoid the bad ones and focus on the good ones. And this is an idea that I actually came up with. And as you'll see, the ratings are on there. And usually we try to put all the lenders that are rated higher on the very top. Now, I know I know what you're thinking. There's 150 lenders. That's a lot to work with, right? So we did put this little search feature in here where you can just type in keywords. So let's say commercial, right? Let's say you're looking for a commercial lender. You can type in commercial, and all the lenders that do commercial are going to pop up. You can type in the word reverse. All the lenders that are doing a reverse are going to pop up. You can type in the word, let's see, ITIN. ITIN program is something popular that a lot of people are asking me about. And then these are all the lenders that are doing ITIN program. You can even do mobile homes that are not on a fixed foundation. We have a lender that actually does that. You can also do SBA loans. We have an SBA where you can refer this out to a few lenders and earn some money there. We also have a few partnerships with a few lenders. We are licensed in California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Florida, Oregon, and soon to be Washington. And we should be licensed by the end of the year, hopefully in another 10 states. In the meantime, we do have partnerships with some of our lenders where you can access about 30 other states. And it's more like a referral type of thing. But the cool thing is they give you wholesale pricing. You just pay a bit of a upfront fee, but it's worth it because you're still going to get that wholesale pricing. And you can do loans in Nevada and some of these other states. You can also just go off of the tabs here. So if you want to look for conventional, FHA, non-QM, and then all the lenders that we're correspondent with that we're doing direct lending with. My favorite is United Wholesale Mortgage. And on that note, because we are a big United Wholesale Mortgage partner, we don't work with Rocket or Quicken Loans for that same reason. But they're amazing. Again, we're closing our loans super fast. And I'll go into that a little bit later on a future slide. If you get commercial deals that are over 10 million, 100 million, if you get lucky and get one of those buildings in downtown, we do have contacts where you can direct contacts with some banks. You just click on here and you can get in contact with them, and you can actually make money off of those as well, a commission. When it's time to leave a review, we made it super simple. I know us loan officers don't like to spend too much time on one thing. So we made it super easy where you can just glide over the stars here, select the drop downs, and just go ahead and leave your review. And again, this is important. I really want people to use it so that it gives us feedback on which lenders to avoid and which lenders to work with, right? Any of the lenders that you see on here, you can request your own credentials so that you have login. So you can log in directly and price directly with that lender. Also check out their guidelines or check out any cool tools that they may have on their site. All you simply have to do is click on this icon here that says request credentials. Click on it, type in the lender you want to work with, send it. And then my IT guy, usually within 4 hours, you'll have your credentials. So you don't have to call in. You don't have to like wait on someone and say, okay, I'll get back to you on it. We're trying to do everything so that everything's kind of clockwork and very systematic, just like we like, right? We all want things to be consistent and work. And this is one of the things that we have on here for you. So if you want to request your credentials, I also do these videos, videos, just to interview some of the AEs we're working with. I'm not going to play it, but but you get the point. It's, back in the days prior to 2007, we had AEs that would come into the office. They would bring us lunch. We got to talk to them. They don't do that obviously no more, right? So I kind of do videos with some of the key lenders that we work with, so you could maybe see how the AE is, get to know them a little bit before you work with them, see their personality and all that good stuff. And that's it for the lender list. And normally what you can do is you can leave the tab open and just have it ready so that if you want to access any of your lenders, you can do that. We have a full-time person that her job is just to do the renewals for all our lenders and also get approved with any lender that we're not approved with yet. So if you have a lender that you found that you need us to get approved with, we're going to make that a priority and we're going to get that lender approved for you. Also, when it comes to changing comp plans, if you want a lower comp, higher comp, just let us know. And we can also, if we're able to, we can go ahead and make that change for you as well. Let's get back to the slides here. I'm sorry, back to the portal. Let me log back in here. I'm not sure why it's logging me out. Okay, so we did that. Okay, so the marketing hub, this is pretty cool. This is something that we just started not even that long ago, maybe maybe it's not even a year old, but we want to provide you guys, you guys are going to have access to the best rates, best pricing and all that, but we also want you guys to have marketing material, right? You got to be able to market yourself. So we're able to get a lot of the tools and flyers from some of the lender partners that we work with. And there's a lot of cool marketing stuff that you can do. Even with Brand 360, which is UWM system, you can set up your social media postings in one day. So for example, March 1st, you can set up all your social media postings for the month so that they go out every day and schedule them. So you don't have to do it every day. You do it one time and all these postings are going to go out. And you can also, a lot of these flyers are white labeled. So you can put in your name, your information, your team members information, whatever you want to put on here. We also have some Equity Smart branded ones. Let me see where those are at. So if you go in here, and then we even have tutorials on how to put the stuff together. So, and then if you need help creating a custom flyer for any reason, let's say you're having an event or whatever, this is how we created some of these for events that we put together. And then we just put them in our library so that we have as many as we can that we can share with the loan officers working with our company. So you're going to have all that in here. If you want to order traditional business cards, you can as well. You can start the order here. We'll get those printed out for you. Now, the cool thing for everyone here is we also started a new virtual business card. And those are those little cards that you tap the phone and then all your information downloads into the person's phone and they can save you as a contact. The cool thing about that, it has all your links, all your emails, any information that you want transferred beyond just your phone number is going to be on there. It's a metallic American Express type of looking card. And we give that to every loan officer that joins a company for free. It doesn't cost you anything. I know there's companies charging even $300 for that. And it's just evidence of how we want you guys to have some of the best technology. And the cool part about this is actually my IT guys came up with this idea and said, hey, those virtual business cards that are out there, we could create that for you. I'm like, let's do it. Let's get it out to the loan officers. The more tools and resources we can get them, the better they're going to be able to compete out in the market. If you're trying to print your own stationery or envelopes, we have all our logos there for whatever. If you may need it, you can download it and use it from there. And there's a lot more in here, so definitely check it out. For the marketing, we're going to keep adding some cool stuff in there. We do have a video production studio. If you're in the city of South Pasadena or LA County, Orange County, or anywhere nearby, or even if you want to travel in and do videos, marketing videos, we did turn one of our offices into a studio. I actually started doing some videos myself, and it's pretty cool. The quality, the ability to put verbiage and put yourself in different places is super cool. And this is important because I think what a lot of people are waking up to, the reality is that social media is here. It's here to stay. And the best part about it, it is free. All you have to do is be able to create the content. So you got to get good at content. I've always said that loan officers, we're many hats, right? We got to learn how to market ourselves. We got to be underwriters. We got to be problem solvers. And now we got to be content creators. That's the new thing for loan officers now. And it's great because it forces you to get out of your comfort zone, invest in yourself. I'm an old school loan officer. It took me a long time just to even want to do a video. I was not comfortable talking in front of a camera. But guess what? The more I did it, the more comfortable I got with it. Am I perfect? No, but I'm getting better, and I look forward to getting better because it's a free way to advertise. You know, there's nothing like that. I mean, before the internet, we had the LA Times, newspapers. You had to pay for those things to get your name out there. You couldn't really get yourself out there in ways that you can get yourself out there now. You just have to tap into your imagination, your creativity, and we'll help you with that, because we realize that that's a big push right now, is to get people on social media, get your name out there. And remember, it's not what you know, it's who knows you and who you know, right? So we're going to continue pushing that. We're going to continue doing things. That my next project is actually here in our corporate office, is to turn a couple of our offices into podcast studios. So if you want to interview someone, you want to come in and have everything already set up, we'll do all the recording, we'll do everything for you, we'll shoot it, and even edit it for you, and we'll get it out there for you. We'll get it back to you so you can post it and do whatever you like with this. So if you want to interview like a top realtor, or talk or review maybe a salesperson or motivation, whatever it is, you're going to be able to conduct those interviews. What else do I want to talk about in here? Another cool thing about us is, I talked about the things that I didn't like as a loan officer. And I remember being at GMAC Mortgage, and whatever I closed this month, I didn't get paid until the 15th of the following month. So sometimes I had to wait almost 30 days, 40 days to get paid. And I'm like, what the hell? You know, I need my money. So I know how loan officers feel. And for that reason, we do commissions daily. We don't do them. If you're a 1099, because you're going to have, depending on your license type and all that, you might come in as a W-2 or 1099. Unfortunately, if you're W-2, it will be every other week, just because we have to do it during our payroll. But if you're 1099, we're going to set it up same day, next day, and we're going to wire into your account. There's no check holdings. There's no check bouncing. You don't have to chase your check. All you simply going to do is we're going to show you how to fill out our commission form. You fill it out a few days before your transaction is going to close. So that way my team has your closing ready, and they're ready to pay out your commission. And it's like clockwork. Everyone loves it once you come in, because you don't have to ask. It's just one of those things that just happens automatic. You don't have to be wondering, well, when is my broker going to pay me? You know, I want to get paid. We also do commission advances. No one is doing that in the industry. What does that mean? If you don't want to wait for your check and you have CTC, you're clear to close, and you've been with us for more than a year, we will give you up to 50% of your commission as an advance, as long as you have a CTC, so that you can save a few days, because we know things happen. Sometimes you got to pay bills and stuff like that, or things just come up and you need access to your money a little bit sooner than later. So that's how flexible we are. Credit vendors. These are the credit vendors that we're working with. I know it's a shitty situation right now with the credit reports, because you guys have been pulling credits recently. They have dramatically gone up. And I remember when I started doing loans, they were like $4 or $5, if that, I think. And, you know, to go from $4 all the way to, I think, almost $50, $60, whatever they are now, it's an outrage. So we have all these resources. One of the things that I do as a broker, I fight for you guys, or for the team. I make sure that I negotiate with each company, tell them, hey, we have good volume. You guys need to give us the best pricing, so that we're not paying full price for all our services. And I do that with all third-party services. And I'll share another example with you. But you know, I'm going to go over strategies. When you join, I'll go over different strategies that you can employ, where you can do maybe a one pull, where you're doing a pre-qual. You can charge the customer directly for the full credit report, which I think is not a bad idea, because if you pull the credit for them and they pay for it, then they have skin in the game, and they might not really want to shop anywhere else and pay for another credit report fee. But we leave that up to you. These are your options. If you want to select any of these, or all of them, actually, you can just click on the drop down here, and then we'll go ahead and get your credentials and all set up for you for any of these credit companies that we're approved with. If you see a credit company you like that's not on here, let me know. And if they're willing to work a deal with us, we'll get them on board as well. And we have a training center here where all the videos and everything we've ever done. I had an opportunity to speak at AIM event in front of 2,000 people. So that's the video that you see there. That was pretty cool for me. But we also have all the other recordings that we've done in the past. So you can kind of go in there at your free time and just kind of see what some of the top LOs are doing to get business right now, right? It's all about energy. It's all about coming together and helping each other out, right? We think in abundance. We don't think that, you know, people are out to we think there's an abundance of business. We think in plentitude. So we don't mind sharing. We don't like collaborating, coming together, because there's plenty of business for everybody. And that's pretty much it for the portal. I could spend a lot more time on it. The last thing I want to show you is we do have our company meetings in here. And one of the cool things about our meetings is we have them on a monthly basis. And what I really like about them is that we don't really waste your time. We actually dive into actual tools and tools, reports, and we give you predictions of we think what's going to happen with the market. We give you graphs, and we go off of hard data, to try to come together and figure out what's happening in the market. What can we expect in the next few months, right? And we try to present it in that way so that you walk away from the meetings like thinking, okay, I'm a little more empowered. I understand what could possibly happen, when rates may possibly come down, and all that good stuff. And based on internal data that we share with you. That's it for the portal. There's a lot more I can go in there, but for the sake of time, we're going to move on. So next thing you're going to get is when you join us, you're going to get your own dedicated web page. We're going to build that out for you. What we realize is that one of our biggest hits on our website is the allo pages. And the allo pages, basically what that's telling us is that the consumers are coming in there, they're going to our website, and they're looking for loan officers. So we want every loan officer to have a bio, a little story about themselves, the markets are working, so that if someone's shopping for mortgage, when they go on our site, they can look at the MLO directory that you see here, because that's the most visited, one of the most visited sites on our website. So that means that people are trying to look for a local loan officer or whatever, and so that's really good. The studio, I already talked about the studio and ESHL. I think it's so cool. We're going to perfect this and make it better. Some of the videos that we developed were done in the studio, and they just come out so professional and clean. They look amazing. I talked about the smart virtual business card already. You guys are going to get that. You can also do the traditional, but I recommend getting that one. LOS, let's talk about, very important, our LOS system. So we work with LendingPad. I was working with Calyx Point for about 18 years. I'm a very loyal person. I like working with my partners. I like giving them opportunities to improve and deliver a better product. Well, Calyx Point pretty much didn't improve their technology, and they were slow to implement a lot of cool things that a lot of other LO systems were implementing. I was in talks with the owner, and he was just slow in getting that. And one of the problems with Calyx Point too is that it's married to your computer. It's not web-based. I mean, there's all kinds of issues that we started having. So what we decided to do is we decided to work with LendingPad. And me and my director of operations spent about almost a whole year researching different companies that we wanted to work with, because we wanted to make sure we had the right company. And this is the company we chose, and I think we made a really good decision. Everyone that comes on board starts working with them actually enjoys working with them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to demonstrate how I'm putting it to use. So let's pretend that I just closed a loan for John, right? John's happy. He's like, hey, you did such a good job. I'm going to refer my sister to you. She's going to reach out. Please help her with her refinance. The sister reaches out. Hey, how you doing? Maybe we have a conversation for 1 minute, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But the whole point for me is that I'm going to instruct her, that I'm going to send her an email with instructions on how to complete my portal and what documents I need. So then once she gives me her email, we hang up. Then I'll click on these 3 dots down here. I don't know if you guys could see it, these 3 dots. And I'll go to templates, and then I'll go to pre-approval items needed. And I started needing to do this myself as well, just to save time, because I have tons of past clients and they reach out to me, and I don't really have time to be taking applications anymore. And I was very hesitant for a while because I'm old school. I figured, no, I have to give that customer service, that all that, uniqueness. But with COVID happening and all that, 95% of people I interact with are okay with taking an online application. So then the template pops up. I'll just simply change the name, and it's a very simple email, nothing complicated. Hi, it was great speaking with you today. Please complete my loan application online by clicking on the link below where it states apply now. And here's the link. And all you guys are going to have this, and I'll show you where that takes you in a minute. And then also I will need the following documents to process your application. And so I have three simple items just to make it super easy. And I'll even go as far as, if it's a refi, I'll even go as far as just changing it to maybe one, just so I don't discourage the bar. Like if they can't find their old taxes, but they have their most recent, then I'll just maybe get rid of that just to make their life easy, right? I might even get rid of the bank statements, because on most rate and term refis, you don't even need bank statements. And assets usually not a deal killer, because you always can get, you can always figure that out through gift letters and all that good stuff. But anyhow, bar gets this. She clicks on here, and it's going to take her to this landing page where she can actually begin the process of completing an application. And the cool thing about this is that this can work from any device. It could work from an iPhone, iPad, Mac, PC, whatever. If the customer's traveling to Mexico and the only computer they have access to is the hotel computer, they can use that to start this whole thing. It's great. I was actually in Long Beach over the weekend, and I needed to look at a file, and I jumped on my phone, and I was able to look at the DTI. I was able to look at pay stubs and all that, all from my phone. And that's where I came up with the term "work out of your pocket," because you could literally work out of your pocket, and that's what we've created, right? So they create an account, they log in, they complete the whole application. You get an email notification, text, however you want to set it up, notifying you that it was completed. And now I'm going to show you the back end, what we see as a loan officer. When I log in, there's going to be graphs and bars and stuff like that. Don't let none of that throw you off. It's super easy LOS system to use. I've done applications from scratch myself, and within 10 minutes, I'm running DU and LP. That's how fast it is. So just to kind of give you a sample file that I have in here that I want to share with you guys, just to give you an idea of how this works. And again, you or the bar can log in from anywhere and any device, as long as all you need is Wi-Fi connection and a computer, and you're in business pretty much. So we're gonna locate this this file here that I created for this example, and what you're gonna notice right away is that the application was created at the bar. So that's a huge time saver, right? And we set it up so that there's no hard stops. Sometimes people get hard stops because they can't find something, and they'll quit on the application. What we do is we let them finish it, even if they miss stuff, and then you just do a touch-up phone call just to capture anything that they missed. And then so the first thing I do is I make sure I have everything in the application, and then I'll go in and I'll start looking at the documents that the consumer uploaded. And I just want you to notice how quickly everything just pops up. So there's the pay stub. So I can look at that really quick, extract the data or the information I need from the pay stub, from the 401ks, from the tax returns and all that. Once I'm done doing all that, it's always going to be there. So if I need to re-access it, it's going to be in there. Then I go back to my loan. I structure everything. I fix the LTV, the loan amounts, all that good stuff. And then I'll go to actions. I'll run the credit report, and it's going to be in here. And again, because I have really good deals with the credit companies, there's no reissue fees or none of that crap. I got rid of all that. And then also right now, well, I'll talk about that in another slide. So then we run the credit report. It's in there. And then the next thing we want to do, right, especially if we're working on a Saturday or Sunday, and the realtor wants the DU or the LP right on the spot, you're going to have access to it on your fingertips. The cool thing is that we set this up with Freddie Mac and with Fannie Mae, so you can toggle between either or and determine which investor you want to work with, right? This loan, I set it up as an FHA. So then I ran it through, and there's your DU findings, right? We're looking for that approve eligible that everyone wants. Once you have that, you can go ahead and issue your pre-approval letter, and you're done, right? Customer wants a loan estimate. You can go in here and create your loan estimate, get it out to them. They can continue to send links. A lot of bars don't want to email documents anymore. They're too scared, right? And this creates a kind of a safe way to get documents to you so that they're not floating out there in the internet or being intercepted by anybody. There's a lot I could talk about here. I could probably spend another 2 hours just on our LOS system. But one of the highlights that I love is that it works well. It has a lot of plugins. So if you have CRMs that you like working with, you could plug those in. I have mine on steroids where it's plugged into my CRM. It automatically extracts everything into my CRM. So now my customers are getting emails on their birthday. They're getting anniversary emails. They're getting all these contacts throughout the year automatically. It's all automated because, again, out of sight, out of mind, right? We want to be in front of our customers. And if we rely on ourselves, we're going to drop the ball. So we need that automation. And this is one of the reasons we went with LendingPad, because there's a lot of CRMs that plug into this. Flowify is one of them. If you're familiar with Flowify, I had this on Flowify and it was working amazing. It kept bugging the customer to upload their documents. It kept sending reminders, newsletters going out, and people love it, So, and especially if it's coming from you, the person that helped them get their home or their loan. All right, so let's get back to the slides here. If you guys have any questions about this, we can talk about this towards the end of the presentation. That's for LendingPad. United Wholesale Mortgage. So I dropped their name a few times. I'm sure you guys have heard of them, and they're number one for a reason. I've known the CEO, Matt Ishbia, for over 7 years now. I've got to hang out with him in Costa Rica. Amazing human being, super committed to the broker channel, has done a lot of amazing things, has raised the bar in our industry and forcing other lenders to do the same, to provide us the best tools, technology. Back prior to 2007, we didn't have anything. Lenders would come in, they would just take, and they really didn't offer anything in return. They just wanted the loans and didn't care about anything. So when I saw UWM, when I saw Matt Ishbia speak about 7 years ago, I was captivated by his energy, the things he said, and the support that he was going to provide to the broker channel. And that's exactly what happened. So again, we're a prop partner, and the advantage that we have is that we are also a direct lender with them. So if someone asks you, are you a direct lender, you can with confidence say, yes, I am a direct lender. And that gives you the ability to do a lot of cool things. Let me log in here really quick. That gives you the ability to do a lot of cool things. And I'll give you an example. For me, honestly, the broker compensations, on the broker side with lender paid, borrower paid, and all that, it's kind of like a balancing act, because your broker is going to set up a compensation plan, like let's say at 2% or 2.5%, but you can't always charge that. I've done loans for $500 just to beat out the other loan officer, to win deals, to get access to a company. I don't care. I'm a fighter. I win. I compete. I want your deal. I don't care. I have to even do a loan for free, but it's all strategic, right? And the borrower and lender paid compensation plans, they kind of take that away from you. And also it takes away the ability to consistently work with the same lender you enjoy working with, because you can't charge 2%. And then if the broker puts it too high, then it's too high. If the broker sets it too low, like let's say at 1% or 1.25%, then it's too low. You're never going to make anyone happy. Correspondent solves all that problem. You can customize your pricing on any deal hybrid you like. So you can theoretically make 2 points in the back, make 2 points in the front. You can also charge admin fees and all that. And you can actually give your borrower credits. So you ever been in a situation where a realtor and the buyer's agent and the listing agent are squabbling over a repair of a window for $700, and no one wants to pay for it? And then on the broker channel, we can't even pay. We can't even give a credit. Even if we want to reach into our pocket, we can't give it because they don't allow it. Well, guess what? On the correspondent, you can do all that. On lower loan amounts, you're like let's say $80,000 loan, you're going to be capped at maybe making $1,500 on the broker side. Well, on the correspondent side, I've seen people make $6,000 on an $80,000 loan, right? I'm not encouraging to take advantage of anyone by no means. I'm just highlighting the point so you understand the flexibility and the power. So now you're going to have access to the best of both worlds. It's just amazing because we're going to equip you so that you can battle in both fronts, retail and in the broker channel. So you have solutions, and it's to the point where if they can't do the loan with you, they're probably not going to be able to do it anywhere else, right? So one of the cool things is we're always ranked really high with UWM. In California, we're ranked always top 5, anywhere from top 5 to top 10. The number one broker shop is C2 Financial, right? C2 Financial, they don't even offer correspondent. The only reason that they're beating us is because they've been around 30 years longer than us, but we have provide better tools, better resources. In fact, when I do presentations to C2 financial loan officers, they're quick to come on board because they realize like, wow, we're not getting all this stuff that we're providing our loan officers. There's so many tools. The main thing I want to highlight on this here thing, I mean, I could spend another 2 hours just on United Wholesale Mortgage. I'm not going to do that. But one of the cool things, like I said, we have a a great relationship with them where if you want to fly out to Detroit, we're going to cover your flight and hotel, and you could do any of these classes here. You can take your realtors, you can take your processors, whoever you want. And also, when you do purchases, the customers get closing gifts. They get that cutting board. You get 5-day free extensions. You get the partner points. I mean, you get all kinds of cool things because of our relationship with United Wholesale Mortgage. When you come on board, I would highly encourage you to get in touch with our AE there. The first person you should get in touch with her and set up a meeting with her so she can go over a lot of these things with you. Funding Suite is one of the credit vendors I like working with. They're great to do rapid rescores. I've taken people from a 580, and this is during a transaction, by the way, not before. This is, they get their offer accepted. I take them from a 580 to a 640. I've taken people from a 690 to a 710, and even believe it or not, I've done this one. I've taken someone from a 710 to a 740. Why? They were putting 10% down, and it made a $40 difference on the MI. $40, right, a month. And when you do little things like this, it helps you win business. It helps you get referrals, because what other loan officers are going out of their way and paying attention to even the smaller details. And this is some of the cool tools that we have access to. And I can easily demonstrate to you guys on a one-on-one on how this stuff works. I just can't do it here for the sake of time. Moving on. So we do have, like I said, I'm always fighting for the best fees and pricing. So what happened a while back was that there was this company called Cash Call, right? And I would get loan estimates from this company. And what I noticed quickly was that their escrow and title fees were dirt cheap. I mean, they were super dirt cheap. And I'm thinking, how the heck are they getting these prices, right? I'd call all my local escrow and title companies, and they couldn't come close. They're like, oh no, we can't offer that pricing. So what I did is I found out a few companies that were doing this based on volume, of course. First American Title was one of them, but they had a special division for this. Got in contact with them, and I'll give you an example of the discounted type of fees you have for escrow and title. So let's say this is a $500,000 deal. You're going to pay $350 for escrow fee. Title fee is probably going to be $400, and traveling notary is going to be $125. It's going to be 30 to 35% cheaper than if you go out to an outside escrow and title company. And this is important because you don't only want to win deals based on interest rate. You also want to win them on closing costs. Sometimes people get thrown off by the closing cost more than the rate. Now you have access to this. We're an open office. You're not forced to use any of the companies that we have here, but we have them in place as tools where you can win deals over. As a matter of fact, when we're going through the refinance boom, I found myself doing a lot of no closing cost refinances where you get enough rebate to cover their closing costs and make yourself a commission, just because their rates were so low, right? And if I'm going to be paying those fees, then I want them to be dirt cheap too, right? Because it's impacting my commission. Because unlike brokering the loan, any difference of the rebate doesn't go to the borrower, it goes to you, and you decide what happens to that. So I was always using this, even though I have great escrow and title people I enjoy working with. At the end, I had to think about my consumer and get them the best deal. Moving on. If you're in California, we do have a real estate division. If you have your real estate license with us, and it's not something that we really promote. It just came to be that we started with our Department of Real Estate license. We are approved. We are licensed by the Department of Real Estate to do loans. So a lot of the loan officers that work with us have their real estate license. And this came about because some of us are flipping homes. Some of us get family members to give us a deal, or brother, cousin, they want us to sell. And we're not really doing real estate, right? That's not our focus. I used to just give them away to my realtor partners and stuff like that. But we have an amazing real estate team that came together. And even if you have zero knowledge on putting a real estate transaction together, when you get to the TC services, all you have to do is pick the full service. It's going to be about $1,500, $1,800. They're going to do everything for you, and it's a lot cheaper than partnering with a realtor that's going to charge you 50% plus franchise fees and all this crap. It's going to save you money. If you know how to do real estate transactions, then you can pay for the basic, which is like $300 or like what you would pay. And we have amazing the Carla that runs it. I'm getting so many compliments from her that I'm just blessed to have her spearheading our TC services. So in California, you do have the ability to do both real estate and loans. We might do that in other states, but for now it's just California. And I am a member of multiple boards. So most likely I'm already in the board that you probably want to get into. Moving on, we do have a Facebook group. I encourage you when you join to go ahead and join. I think we have over 200 loan officers here now, and it's a great place. It's a central place where we can create community, culture, and talk about scenarios and post scenarios, and talk about events. And you can see what other people are doing, how they're doing their social media, learn from other top LOs. We're very blessed in that we have a lot of LOs that have been in the business more than 15, 20 years. So there's a lot of wealth of information and people that you can learn. And I've never once heard a loan officer say, hey, this person didn't want to help me. Like, everyone's here ready to help. You call them and say, hey, do you mind if I do? I notice you're doing a lot of social media and not comfortable with it. Do you mind if I do a 30-minute session with you to kind of give me the tips on how to do this stuff? So that's all going to be in here. And I myself, I'm doing videos in here, and I post them on here. And just so that I can get better, I try to do one or two a week. And I know some of the team members here are doing the same thing. I'll put these videos so that I can get better at marketing myself, because none of us were, especially as a loan officer, we have, like I mentioned earlier, we have so many hats we got to take on. We got to be marketing, we got to be underwriters, we got to be go get business, we got to be accountants in some cases, right? So now delving into the whole social media is new for a lot of us. And but it's one of those things that we're going to keep pushing. Also, so that's it. That's for the Facebook group. All you have to do is join, and you'll be part of it. And we do have amazing in-house processing. I must say that I think we have our processing manager. She's a type that she's up working by 6, 7 in the morning, up to 8, 9 o'clock. She's always working. She's a workhorse. She has her team. New LOs that have been coming in the last 4 or 5 months, I've been getting texts from them saying, oh my God, the processing is amazing. We got one where the guys texted me, he said that they got a CTC in 4 days. I'm like, wow, and this is all great feedback, because we're letting them know that we want to offer this superior in-house processing. For me, to be quite honest, we're overstaffed. I should have laid off probably half of my processing team. And I didn't do that because, number one, I learned my lesson from what happened in 2007, and immediately put a ton of money away in reserves for Equity Smart, so that we're not in survival mode, we're in infrastructure mode, and we're in building mode. And that's the big difference between us and a lot of other companies, that we were prepared for what's happening. And I also don't believe that you can just use people and throw them away when you don't need them. I don't believe that. I have a very humanistic point of view. And even there's months where, like, thinking, okay, well, maybe we'll save some money, we'll make more profits if we're not paying these salaries. Screw that. Take advantage. We're overstaffed. We're closing our loans super fast. And it's just going to be a great benefit for you. And one of the things I'm always concerned about, just so you know, is that as we know, the market turns like that. And I'm always already thinking ahead. I'm thinking, okay, when this market turns, I want to be ready and have enough processor so that we don't get any bottleneck going or anything like that. Because what happened to us during COVID is that, no one knew what COVID was going to happen, right? Kobe Bryant died. That's how the year started. I remember Kobe Bryant died. And then a few months later, COVID happened. And then rates dropped so low that everyone that I knew was overworked. We couldn't hire processors. I was trying to give out $20,000 hiring bonuses, and I couldn't get processors to come work with us. So we started home growing our own processors, right? We were training them and teaching them because no one wanted to make a move. Now I'm getting resumes from all kinds of processors, right? Like a lot of them got laid off. They're looking for work. But that's the philosophy. That's the view we have. We love our people. We want to keep them working. We want to keep them employed. And I'm excited. I like doing these presentations. I like growing the company because as a broker, I feel like it's my responsibility to preserve everyone's job here. It's on me. And the more allos I can bring and share with what we're doing here, then the revenue is going to help us not only build and grow the company, but also secure the jobs for the people that have gotten us here, right? And here are some of the people. I have me, founder, I have Serafin, director of operations, Steve Kim, the VP of sales. He's been the #1 allo for like the last 4 or 5 years within our company. I partnered with Steve in 2003. He's one of my first allos that he was working at Chase, I think. And I told him, leave Chase, you got to come into the broker channel. And ever since, we've been working together, even through the crash and everything, we stuck together. And he's just an amazing, he does all our sales trainings. I think he closed over 140 million in loans last year, something crazy like that. We have Bobby, he's our marketing manager, Andy, our HR, Corinne, our Allo support coordinator. Raymond, he's a lead IT lead. He manages 4 IT guys. And they're the ones that have developed all the technology and all the cool things that some of the stuff that I showed you. And then Wendy Lara, she's our head of processing. She's amazing. She's a type that if she was giving birth, she'd still be working on her computer while she's giving birth. But that's just to showcase some of the people that work with us. And great people. We have a great culture, great environment. And I'm nearing the end because we're almost, believe it or not, we're an hour into this, even though it doesn't feel that way, right? And the last thing I told you I was going to talk about was reputation, right? If you come work with us, people are going to be like, well, who's this Equity Smart? Before I talk to Shane or Andres or Joseph, I want to know who Equity Smart is, because I want to make sure they're not, they're going to rip me off, or, that's how people think, right? We all go on Yelp and all these things. And there it is. You can look up Equity Smart Home Loan, South Pasadena. And the reason I like to showcase Yelp is because they're the most difficult ones to make fake reviews. I know a lot of people talk about fake reviews, and Google's really notorious for that, but Yelp is very difficult. As a matter of fact, I stopped referring people to Yelp because they would leave a good review, and if the person wasn't a Yelper, they'd take the review down. And I call Yelp. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to build up my online reputation here, and people are not. You guys are taking down these reviews. They're not posting regularly, so we're going to take it down regardless. So these are legit posts. I can tie deals to each one of these. And the cool thing is that people leave stories about how we help them, the homes that they got. It's really cool. And you're going to walk into a top level reputation just walking in, joining our company. And obviously, of course, I ask you to treat the customers with the best customer service you can, because we don't want to mess this up. It messes it up for everybody, right? And that's pretty much it for me. The last thing I want to talk about is Sabrina's one of the Allos that she's been with me, I think, about maybe 8 years now. And she's been in the industry for 25 years, and she's a bulldog type of loan officer, right? She's tough. She's chewing underwriters' heads off. When she'd call me, I'd get nervous, trembling, because she's just that high demanding, like high standard LO. So don't let that smile fool you. But she's tough, right? And she called me up like last year, and she's like, hey, Pablo, I never told you this, but I just want to thank you so much. I've worked with so many companies, 6 other companies, I think she said. And by far, Equity Smart is one of the best companies I've worked for and still with, right? And I was like, wow, if I can please someone with such high standards, then we're doing something right here. We're onto something here. We want to keep growing and building what we're doing and keep adding, because at the end, what we want to create is a system that provides all the tools and resources consistently to all our loan officers, wherever you're at, because you don't need to come into an office no more. Your office is out of your pocket. Like I said before, you're working out of your pocket. You should be out there getting business at the airport, talking to people. I do mortgages. I do mortgage at the gym. I do mortgages. I do more. Get the word out. Get your name out there. And that's really what you got. That's really what we want you focusing on, so that when you get a deal, the system, which is called Equity Smart, is in place. And we're not only building equity in homes, we're building equity in people. And that's how I like to say it. That's pretty much it for me. That's about an hour that we spent together. Thank you so much. If you guys have any questions, I can answer any questions right now, any simple questions. If not, then one of my team members is gonna reach out to set up a one-on-one with me, and then we'll go over things in more detail and address any other questions that you might not be comfortable asking right here. But is there any general questions maybe for now?
No, I'm good, Pablo. I'll be ready for our one-on-one. We'll get more fine-tuned on that.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate it. It means a lot to me. I know that one of the most valuable assets we have is our time. So I truly appreciate you being on this call. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for your time. Absolutely.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, Pablo.
Yeah, you guys have a great day too.